My name is Jānis Brizga. I work for an environmental group in Latvia, Green Liberty, as well as teachers at University of Latvia. Green Liberty been around for a little bit more than 30 years. We do a lot of research and campaigning around the topics of sustainable lifestyles, resource consumption and climate change. A little bit more than 20 years ago, we started campaigning on introduction of deposit refund system in Latvia for beverage containers. And that's been a very long journey. It's been like waves of success and failure because of the government changes and business interest changes from, at one point, retail was very much against it, then producers didn't want to join it. And so that's been a very long struggle to get it done and running. There was a lot of skepticism from people also that I will have to collect all these containers at home and then bring it, that there will be people going through my rubbish to see if I have left any bottle there. But people's minds changed quite quickly after the introduction. Everybody learned very easily and fast how the system is running. So I think it was very quickly adopted by the people, and now the surveys show that people are very happy about how it's working. Cities are much cleaner, and that's been proved that using the deposit refund system, that really helps. Even if you throw out your plastic bottle, there will be someone picking it up and bringing it for this 10 euro cents to get it back. So this fiscal stimulus works, and that's been very helpful to clean the cities and also to clean the beaches. We've been doing the monitoring together with the Environmental Education Center, who's been doing coastal monitoring for more than 20 years, and we see significant improvements.
Latvian Deposit Return Scheme was launched on February 1st, 2022. We, as an operator of the scheme, were selected in January 2021. So we had 1 year to get all the retailers on board, to get all the producers on board, to set up the sorting and counting and all those things. So it was quite intense time. I think it's quite usual for a government to pull the decision for quite long. And then once a decision is made, they want the result to be quite quick. And we also thought that we can do it. So we were optimists, I guess. So we went ahead, yes, and agreed to the plan to set it up within a year. We had no clue what a deposit return scheme is when we joined the company, most of us. It was only one employee, our general manager. So what we did first, we went to Lithuania, where the scheme works for quite a few years, and Estonia. We gathered all the knowledge we could from those countries. It was a lot of contractual things at the beginning, so we had to buy all the equipment for sorting, for counting, so it was one contract after another. We were unique in a way with the reusable bottles, so we had to set up the contractual element with that and think about how the scheme will work, how they will flow, and all these little elements. So really imagining how this whole system will come together was the hardest bit. Then we had to get the public in. The challenge at the beginning was actually to get the products on the shelf, because we had a 6-month transition period where producers were still allowed to sell product without the deposit scheme, but the public was already expecting the shelves full of deposit products. So the first month was tricky, but once the ball started rolling, which was month 2, month 3, it already went quite quickly. And then to get the public on board was about the changing the habit.
You have to take into consideration that everyone, no matter of their age or their skills, will be using the system. Therefore, it's very, very important to have everything as easy as possible. The system works very simple. It's self-regulated. So once you are buying a container, you are paying 10 cents. So later on, those 10 cents are moving around the system through the deposit system operator, through the producer. The deposit system operator is the one who holds those 10 cents until the moment when you are returning your container, you're willing to get back your deposit money. Then the retailer is handing over this deposit money to you and then requesting from the operator to reimburse this money. Latvia is a very small country. We have less than 2 million inhabitants, and in terms of containers, we have approximately 500 million containers during the 1 year produced. And what we are processing in average, it's about 1 million containers a day, or during the summer there are peaks when we have up to 2 million or more than 2 million containers a day that are processed through our sorting facility. If you can imagine that this amount of containers were littered or were somewhere buried in the landfills, it's amazing what amount of resources we can recover. The materials that we are collecting, it's not a garbage, it's not a trash, it's really a resource. So glass was something natural that we just couldn't imagine system without it. And I would say it completes the system. Everything what we are receiving in our sorting center, we recycle. We don't have any bins that we are throwing away, just some things we don't know what to do. Everything what we are receiving, deposit system, we are recycling and putting into the secondary reuse. We even have an agreement with the bag producer that we are transporting the used bags to them, and they are just making a new ones out of it. Hard to tell if it's normal or not, but this is normal for us.
There is always right time and a place to do it. The deposit return schemes show that the return rates are higher for sure. You get cleaner material. So the benefits definitely outweigh the costs of the system, I would say. But slowly and gradually, I think that you should introduce. It will create a huge impact on landfill waste and things like that. The consumers, I think, will follow. It is sometimes harder, sometimes easier, but in most cases it works. So I think that, the country should follow the deposit scheme. What is included depends on the market. So again, I believe that the system should look at how the market forces work and make the best of it. Yeah? So you don't cram something that is not unnatural to the market onto them. So you work with the crowd to make the best of it.
I think the effect of the system was noticed immediately, basically. So when we launched during the winter, you can see there is normally in Latvian climate we have snow in winter, yeah, and most of the litter is covered by snow. But once it gets melted, you can see what's actually happening on the streets. But immediately after the system started, you already started to notice that this litter is getting less and less and less. And even the largest critics of the system, which at the very beginning, of course, in everywhere there are such critics, said that it will not work. They quite quickly admitted that actually, yes, this is working. There is less litter on the roadsides, there is less litter on the beaches and on the streets, and it's just amazing, yeah.
For us, it was very important to get the deposit refund system in place in Latvia, because we saw it as a part of the bigger kind of movement for circular economy. Of course, we can argue that maybe the beverage containers is just a small part, but we see it as also one of the most economically valuable parts of the packaging waste stream. So we have moved the recycling industry into the sectors which they kind of abandoned before the deposit system.
We have beautiful white sand beaches, many kilometers long, and they are now clean. And the city looks different. All the garbage cans are cleaner. I think that the biggest thing is to see the flow of material that comes in and goes out every day, and you just see the amount that is being recycled as opposed to being put in landfill waste.
There is a use for every material that you have in your possession, and you can really put it in a secondary market and reuse it. This way of thinking, this is something that we need to foster, and I think the deposit system is only maybe one part of all. But in fact, what we have observed that by introducing new and new sorting ways, we see that people more and more are thinking of, for example, okay, I have this bottle and I have this plastic. I'm not throwing away the bottle. Why should I throw away this plastic packaging? And he's starting to rethink in his mind, especially the younger generation. Okay, I want to introduce sorting container in my household and start to sort. And then this is how deposit system kind of fosters this way of thinking and moving towards circular economy, towards cleaner nature and cleaner environment.